That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 60 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and demonic.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
Which will make sense for my story.
Oh, I'm excited.
But before we get into these stories, we have to get into these news stories first and keep you updated on any news. And before we go into anything, David, can I tell them what I sent you last week after we had David the Coward on last week, and when we covered news, David specifically talked about a man by the name of, you don't remember.
Are you talking about me or the other David?
No, you, Stokes, Sexy Vegan.
Yeah, Sexy Vegan, of course.
Yeah, so Sexy Vegan, if you guys don't know, he was on Dr. Phil. He did a little backwalk, moonwalk, or I call it a backwalk, but he's just like a fucking insane person. And he has like tattoos all over his face, and apparently he got in trouble by the cops for sexually assaulting a dog, which I found out apparently he was like live streaming something on like Twitter and or something like that, and the dog was like licking his butt, and he just let the dog do it. So that was like
his bare butt.
Yeah, I don't know if it was inside or I don't know the extent of it, but he's like, I let the dog lick my butt, and I was like, okay, well, I mean that's bad, but it's not as bad as I thought it was, but
Still pretty bad.
Yeah. But I'm not condoning this.
Could have been worse.
But what did I send you the other day when I was in Target in Hollywood?
Yeah, you saw the Sexy Vegan.
Sexy Vegan was in Target in Hollywood literally a day after we talked about him on the podcast.
And I'm really upset you didn't get a picture with him.
Well, at the time, I still thought sexually assault. I mean, he still did sexually assault the dog, I guess, but I didn't know the extent of it. So I'm like, I'm definitely not. Oh, and by the way, I knew it was him because he was fucking dancing.
Of course.
And I snagged a little picture of him, but I didn't want him to see me because he's obviously crazy too, and with face tats, and he legally changed his name to Sexy Vegan, so I wasn't going to go up to him. But I was with my girlfriend. Yeah, we get it. You have a girlfriend. I was with her, and I was like, oh my God. And she's like, what? And she thought I saw a celebrity. I was like,
oh, you did.
True. But
I
I
saw
was
the biggest celebrity in all
of
Hollywood.
I was like, that's Sexy Vegan. She's like, who? I'm like, yeah, you don't listen.
They never listen.
They never listen. But, so I let him go on his way because I was terrified of him a little bit. And I definitely wasn't going to touch him in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, you're in public.
And, but I saw Sexy Vegan. So I just thought you guys should know that. Here in Hollywood, we have big movie stars, including Sexy Vegan.
They walk among us.
So, I just want to start off with that. David, do you want to start off with some news, though?
Yeah, this one, I'm not going to read any bit of the article, just the headline. Halton Regional Police looking for man with mice in his pants that led to a spider being on the loose. That's all I got for you.
Can you read that one more time slower so I can figure out what just happened there?
Halton Regional Police looking for a man with mice in his pants that led to spiders being on the loose.
Okay. I'm guessing that he was maybe shoplifting from a pet store. I'm hoping. You don't have to go into it.
Yeah.
I like the ambiguity of it.
If I'm thinking this is a big-ass spider that eats mice, and so he clearly has those cargo pants packed full
of spiders.
Of mice.
Oh,
so he can feed his spiders, which ride on his shoulders.
Oh, they do?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm making this all up.
Oh, okay.
This is how I see it.
You're probably not too far off.
No.
They're probably in his pockets in his cargo pants. And they're empty your pockets, and then he probably had a bunch of spiders or something like that.
And they got loose.
Yeah. So he probably did steal the mice, but the spoders ate them. So
typically when it comes to shoplifting, it's easier when the object isn't alive.
True.
But that's not always true. That's just typically.
He just should have got them frozen measers,
Yeah.
The ones that are nice and,
the chili boys.
You could throw out the buses when
the
they
chili
drive.
bombas.
You put them in your kids' stockings on Christmas.
Yep.
Daddy don't got no money this year.
Make sure you put them on top, though. You don't want that at the end.
No, you don't want them to forget about them under all those Reese's Pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a story right here that says, Arizona man shoots himself in face after firing at ceiling trying to quiet upstairs neighbors.
Yeah. Because when you don't have a broom, you shoot a gun.
Yeah, so apparently he went over and like knocked on the door, and they just like weren't answering. I think it was only 11:20 p.m., which is like, that's not shoot a gun through the ceiling time.
It depends on what your work schedule is.
It's
If you got to get up at 3 a.m.
you think this guy has a job? He's shooting holes in the ceiling. He has nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah.
So he tried to knock on the door, and they just like weren't answering. He's like yelling at him, and it didn't happen. And they didn't answer the door, and he shot the gun in the air. And they don't say how he shot himself in the face, but he was in critical condition.
Yeah.
Like
you would expect. Typically, when you shoot yourself in the face, you're in critical condition.
Well, it depends where you shoot yourself.
Yeah, I guess you could take the nose off.
Yeah, you don't need the nose anyway.
No.
But yeah, so
It's just an accessory at this point.
he actually made more noise because then the ambulances showed up, and now no one's sleeping because of this
then.
guy, except for him. He might have been asleep at this point. But yeah, you have another news story for me?
I got 2 more for you.
Okay.
Convicted bank robber makes 5-day closing speech to court.
So did he not want to go to court? Is this like a what do they call it? A filibuster?
Yep.
Okay.
And so he decided to take his time and do a 5-day long closing speech to the court.
I smell movie rights right now.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. So wait, what was he convicted of?
Bank robbing.
Oh. Yeah, he's probably going away for a while, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But that's cool. He's a orator like Lincoln.
Yeah, sure. Just like Lincoln.
Lincoln always said, always compare me to bank robbers.
Yeah.
Because I'm very similar.
Yes.
But wow, that's very cool of him. I would love to hear at least part of that speech. I don't want to hear the whole speech.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how long, entirely it was.
I feel so bad for the stenographer.
Oh my God.
He's like fucking.
They brought in 3 of them.
There's like, just put a tape recorder in front of him. We can't do this shit.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool.
So my next one.
Wait, I have.
Oh,
one.
I thought you only had one.
No, I have
my
this
bad.
one too. Because I mean, this wasn't strange or anything, but I thought this was really innovative, creative, and I thought David would find this interesting. Apparently, there's a bar in where is this, Missouri or something like that. I don't know. I had it up and now I lost
Talking
it.
about misery.
St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bar that instead of charging by the drink, it charges by the hour.
Okay.
So you pay $10 an hour, and then they send
Holy shit.
they send a code.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't get too excited because
Okay.
they send a code like some kind of email to your phone, and that's what you use to go to the bartender and they scan it to make sure they're not over serving you.
Yeah.
But they also ask for your height and weight, so you
Okay.
don't get plastered.
Yeah.
Apparently, I still don't know what
So the bigger and heavier you are, the more beer they'll serve you?
I guess so.
Oh, then I'd be doing okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't get as many because I'm so thin but very tall. Still.
Yeah. You're a real stick over there.
Like a Wilt Chamberlain of the hourly drinking game.
Yes, you are.
But also don't get too excited because the drinks, they do have mixed drinks and stuff like that, but it looks like they have 3 beers on tap, and it's Bud Light, Budweiser, and something else. And
Yeah.
then and for all you fancy wine drinkers, they have Franzia. I was I have no problem with Franzia, but you could see how they're making their money.
Oh, yeah. Well, my favorite deal in college was it was a bar that is now closed. It was called Cadillac Jack's. We called it CJ's. Mm-hmm. And they had a deal that it was, I believe, Thursday to Sunday, and they called it 7 to 11, and you would pay $11. Or was it $7? No, it was $7. You pay $7, and from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock was unlimited beer.
Oh, wow.
But it was Busch Light and
What's
Keystone Light.
Well, what about the Trader Joe's brand that has the turtle on it? Have you seen that one?
I haven't had that one. I have had Big Flats,
That might have not be
which
Trader
we
Joe's.
call Big Splats. And you could get
We
that.
get it why.
You could get a 6-pack of Big Splats at Walgreens for $3.99.
Oh.
It was awful.
I went to Chicago and they had Lone Star, which is
Oh, yeah. I know Lone Star.
That was the reason I thought it was so cool is because it's just a normal shitty beer, but
Yeah.
it was in True Detective season 1.
No, it's a big Texas beer.
Yeah, I was trying to find it for the longest time. They don't have it out here, so I was
Yeah.
so hyped, but I didn't want to buy it anyway because it
Yeah.
probably tastes like shit.
No, we've discussed our idea of Patreon doing our own little things, and the best story of my life, most chaotic story of my life, is kind of centered around Lone Star in its own way.
Is it?
Yeah, it was fueled by Lone Star. and Dallas.
Oh wow.
Okay, so should I go on to my next story?
Yeah, but like I just want to say this bar is also called Open Concept, which is kind of like it's kind of clever, I guess, a little bit.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. So if you guys are in St. Louis, go check that out and let us know how it is.
Yeah. So for my last story, it was something I already shared to you. I sent you this video, I believe, on Instagram. And so I'm sure, like myself and many other people here, the video game franchise Halo has been a big part of your life almost.
Oh, you did tell me about this.
And so the company 343 Industries, who bought the rights from Bungie, are preparing for their next release, Halo Infinite. And in this process, for the people unfamiliar, Halo, the whole concept is that you're a human fighting aliens. And so they hired a new voiceover actor for, which I can only assume are the grunts, which are like these nasty little creatures
Nasty little shits.
that are just kind of there to get in the way.
They make like kind of like weird noises, like that not human. They don't speak English. It would just be like more of like grunts and little like but.
So they hired a pug by the name of Goiza
as the pot sticker.
Yes, as the pot sticker to do the voices, which they haven't said yes or no to it, but I'm gonna assume that it's doing the voices for the grunts. So I'm gonna play you some of these voiceovers of Goiza the pug.
It sounds really good.
It does.
It's like it makes sense. They just like tempted him with food, right? Or something like that. They was like giving him little treats and
some salamis. At one point, she does attack the wind guard, the fluffy wind guard.
That's very similar to what movie was it or video game or something like that where they got the sound for the creature by rubbing a pumpkin.
I don't know about this
one.
one.
Hear about that?
No, I don't know.
Rubbing.
Because I've rubbed a pumpkin or two in my life, and I don't know what the sound is like.
Sound.
I usually couldn't hear it over myself.
Rubbing a pumpkin. Oh, they have a lot of ASMR. Oh, District 9, the aliens. They got the noise by rubbing a pumpkin.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what the predator noise?
No.
Can you hear it though? Like the really high pitched like clicking.
I thought it was like. I'm like.
It's it's a sped up squirrel.
Really?
Yeah. The sound effect for the predator is a sped up squirrel.
See, you would think that people would go for like I've heard of people like hiding like growling lion noises like behind backing tracks to like make it like visceral and scary because like it's doing something like instinctual to my body, but like you would not think they would go for like something like a squirrel, you know what I mean? For like
yeah.
But I guess it is kind of disturbing if you like distort it or whatever.
Yeah, they just sped it up quicker.
Wow, that's so interesting. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
So pugs, pumpkins, and squirrels, those they're taking our jobs, guys.
We gotta do something about it.
I've been trying to sound like a pumpkin for years, and I can't have a pumpkin steal my job.
It's something we just can't replicate it. They're just too good. They're just too good. Well, you know what? October will be over soon, so you pumpkin ass bitches can fuck off.
I'm gonna throw you out at the back of a car.
Yeah.
On a freeway. No, not on a freeway.
Ironically, squirrels eat pumpkins, so it's kind of a full circle there.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they eat.
I think they get drunk off pumpkins.
Really?
Yeah, they sit for so long they like ferment themselves.
Drunk Off Pumpkins is my new album coming out.
Yeah.
So go check it out. Drops October 31st. Okay. Anyway, okay, well, let's get into the stories real quick.
But first,
we have to tell you about the best coffee in the game. Yeah, we're talking Spring Hill Jack, people. If you listen to this podcast, you know about Spring Hill Jack. We like it. We love it. We gotta have it, like Cold Stone. And if
is that their slogan?
No, that's their sizes. Like it, love it, gotta have. I think they changed it, but who knows?
I hope.
Anyway, go check out Spring Hill Jack. They got great coffee. They're great people. If you guys want like Reanimator, if you guys want some Dragon.
It's October now, baby. This is the time to be drinking some Spring Hill Jack.
If your coffee ain't spooky, you ain't doing October right, you know?
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Not only the night spooky, but you got to make the morning spooky too by having good coffee that has monsters and stuff on the bag and named after it and stuff. So go support a good company. They're really cool. They're really nice, and they make good coffee that's very affordable. So stop drinking that
and delicious.
That basic shit out of a pumpkin. Actually, drink your coffee out of a pumpkin. That'd be pretty cool. A gourd.
A gourd?
A gourd.
Can I get a gourd of coffee, please?
That's not. Oh, I'm gonna start a company, and that's gonna be one of the sizes.
So what? A gourd?
It's gonna be a gourd, a pumpkin, and one of those
melons.
And the pumpkin that it was in Hey Arnold that they play poker in. That was like Stinky's pumpkin.
You're not ringing any bells.
Any Hey Arnold fans out there? Come on.
It's been, 25 years since I've watched that fucking show? Jesus.
Oh, yeah, well, it's a big pumpkin. Anyway, go check out Spring Hill Jack because we like it and you will too. Ooh. Oh, that's right. SpringHillJack.coffee. What, David?
SpringHillJack.coffee.
.coffee. Okay, thanks. Yeah, let's get into these stories. Now, David, since the beginning of this podcast, we have been very wary and concerned of anyone in the stories we tell acting a little strange. Usually they speak in a different voice, bend limbs the wrong way, or even levitate. Now, we're no doctors, but David, if you had to give a diagnosis on what was wrong with this person from those symptoms, what would you say was wrong with them?
Wait, what symptoms?
They speak in different voices, they bend their limbs backwards, and they could levitate.
There'd be a spider?
No. What they got in them?
Youngblood?
No.
They got them demons in them.
There we go, finally. They got them demons in them.
Third time's the charm.
Exactly. But the problem is, there are so many demons out there, it's hard to know which one is in them. So today, I'm going to be telling you about my 6 favorite hot little red boys out there you may find in hell. So I'm talking about 6 demons today, and I had to do 6.
Demons.
I had 5, and I was like, I gotta do 6.
666 demons.
Pay respect for respect's due. So before I go into this, I did some research on some demons, which I felt kind of weird about going on some of these sites like Demonpedia or whatever they got going, but I wanted to say, first things first, hell is more complicated in their leadership than any country I've ever heard of. They constantly contradict who is the leader of the West and the East, how many legions each one controls, and who has what powers technically. So I'll try my best to keep things straight, but then again, you never know who's running for office in hell as we speak. So things might change at a drop of a hat. But it's crazy. Each one is like, oh, this is Balthazar. He controls 36 legions, and he's in the West. And then I read another website, and they're like, actually, Balthazar is in the East, and he controls 170 legions. And I'm just like, I can't.
But those legions are much smaller.
What's the measurement of a legion is my question. Right?
Yeah.
How many are in a legion? So, and I bet it changes every day while they get more and more troops coming down there.
Yeah.
So my first one I have right here is Belphegor.
Okay.
He is a shapeshifter, delighted in using his ability to deceive mortals. His most common forms are either the form of a beautiful woman, naked in all of her glory.
Fuck yeah.
To seduce those who would fall for her sexiness, or possibly a terrible demon. That is also another form with leathery flesh, huge horns, long sharp teeth, and fingernails and a gaping mouth. So very
just
different.
Normal old fingernails.
It's long fingernails.
Okay.
They're long.
They're real long.
So yeah, and fingernails. But yeah, it's very different. So you could go to bed with one and you wake up with the other at a.
Trust me, I've been there.
You go to bed with a leathery demon and wake up with a beautiful woman. And you're like, what is going on here? I didn't sign up for this. Anyway, so Belphegor is also one of the 7 princes of hell, which means he is also one of the 7 sins, being the saint of sloth.
Okay.
So I didn't know that they had 7 princes, which again, they change on which book you're reading. There's Christian,
let's get together.
Judea. Yeah, exactly. Everybody has for the most part, the kind of same, Satan's repping Wrath pretty
Yeah.
hard, but like some of them change. So Belphegor, Belphegor, yep, that's it. Belphegor has two main jobs originally. He was sent to Earth by Satan to discover if marital love was real or a fallacy that could be taken advantage of by his minions. And Belphegor searched far and wide and reported to Satan that he could not find none in his travels, which is exactly what an incel like Belphegor would say.
Yeah. Which one was Little Nicky?
I love that movie. Oh, Adrian, get back in the flask. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's good.
He got hit in the jaw with a shovel. That's why he talks like that. But yeah, so Satan was just like, "Hey, why don't you go to Earth, find out if like marriage is like a real thing?" And he's
Mayor McCheese is a real thing.
he's like, and he came back sweating and covered in like cuts, and he's like, "He's real. He's real."
We don't want to go back.
And then he just comes to the portal, and now guess who's running the east and west of hell?
I believe Mayor McCheese.
Mayor McCheese. He's already got like a government.
Way more
plan.
followers.
No, he's a mayor. He knows how how politics play.
He runs that shit.
Exactly.
Full of cholesterol.
So his second job comes into play when Belphegor is invoked by persons who wish to find fame and wealth through invention, often with as little effort as possible, which is where the sloth comes into play a little bit more. These wishes are doomed to fail because Belphegor's true mission is to draw the lazy into the sin of sloth. Through the failure of whatever Belphegor provided to the invoker, he draws them into procrastination and idle dreaming rather than producing, thus damning them. So he's basically just like, hey, I want an invention that will make me rich. And he's like, here's a cube. And then they just like start fucking with the cube, and they don't do anything with it, and they become like slothful. So
Which is still probably the dumbest out of all of the sins.
Yeah.
Like, you're lazy.
Yeah. Can you name them all? I had them at the tip of my tongue. But there's like wrath,
famine.
sloth. No, that's 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
I thought famine was still one of them, though.
No, it's like greed, sloth, wrath, vanity. That's 4. Sexiness.
Sexiness.
Totino's pizza rolls.
Yeah.
And
the obvious.
And purple Jello.
Purple Jello.
I think those are the 7.
You want me to?
Please read them if you have them right there.
So
I saw the
7,
movie 7, and it was really good, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
The 7 deadly sins would be pride,
That's one.
envy, gluttony,
Oh, that's a good one.
lust, anger, greed, and sloth. Which, you ever seen the parallels about SpongeBob and the 7 deadly sins? How each character like resembles each one.
Yeah, like Patrick's sloth.
Envy is Squidward, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
What's SpongeBob?
greed is Mr. Krabs.
Oh, that makes sense. Anger or wrath is Plankton.
Yeah. Lust. Who would lust be?
Sandy.
Sandy?
No,
you think
I
so?
don't know. I don't know. Mrs. Puff. Who's cheating on their wife? Which one of you sea creatures is cheating on your wife? That still also might be Mr. Krabs. Where's his wife?
His wife?
He
They
banged
never
him.
said his wife because his daughter is.
She adopted?
I mean, they don't
She's
touch
all
up
whale,
on it.
no crab.
All right, so I got it here. So lust is SpongeBob, wrath is Squidward, sloth is Patrick, pride is Sandy, greed is Mr. Krabs, envy is Plankton. And then gluttony. You want to take a stab at who gluttony is?
Is that Mrs. Puff?
No,
I can't think of it.
Gary. You always forget about Gary. Meow.
He seems like an angel. You
Yeah.
never put that on him.
He does eat a lot.
So to get back to these demons, I know we took a SpongeBob turn, but also 2 little fun facts about Belphegor are that his sacrificial offering to summon him is poo-poo, excrement.
The doo-doo.
So he's always lurking around the local Taco Bell. And also that he is apparently named by Satan as, get this, the ambassador of Paris, France.
Okay, sure.
Isn't
Why
that
not?
It's because they believe like France to be very I don't know. He's sloth, which
Full
is
of
kind of
shit?
weird. No, no. He's sloth is weird, but like it makes sense because like in the beginning, like here's what I put. I said I'm guessing because they were the first to get freaky back in the day. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they have a kiss named after him, so they're probably like, oh, all the demons love France. They got brothels and French kissing and grape jello and
Lot of
Totino's
tongue.
pizza rolls and yeah. So, but just very interesting.
See, people think Totino's is supposed to be an Italian name, but it's actually French.
Yes.
It means small pizza bites in French. In French.
Okay, French. Oh shit, boy. Anyway, so let's go to my next demon. So my next demon is these are more like obscure demons, by the way. I'm not going for Beelzebub.
Yeah, sometimes it's
know.
boring when you hit the heavy hitters of
he's
the
Lord
demon.
of the Flies.
Yeah.
Turns into a big fly.
Yeah.
So this
Loves
next,
shit just as much.
this next guy is Andros. Andros, appearing with a winged angel's body and the head of an owl, riding upon a strong black wolf and wielding a sharp and bright sword. It's looking pretty cool besides the owl head.
Are you sure he's not a giant baboon face in the space?
No, see, that's the thing. I've learned from looking into these that some of these demons are good because
Do you understand what I'm referencing at all?
No, I
Star
don't.
Fox 64, Andros was the main bad guy. He's a big monkey face floating in space with two big old hands.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about now, but I did not know his name.
Yep.
But what I was saying is that some of these demons like aren't that bad because it's kind of like a religion in itself. So there are some that like he provides knowledge and
Yeah.
lots of money, and you're like, oh, okay, you guess he's not that bad. But Andres' main power is sowing discord between people and instructing the ones who summon him on how to kill others. It is believed that Andros was summoned quite often by military leaders in times of war in order to gain an advantage over their enemies. But it was also said that Andros was extremely subtle and difficult to detect, which meant he was extremely dangerous to anyone who summoned him. They believed that Andros could kill the conjuring magician and his assistants if precautions were not taken, and that a misstep outside the magical protective circle could mean instant death for the conjurers.
Ooh.
So you're basically just like summoning this guy. You're like, oh, I know Andros. He's like super good at killing other people. And then like you're at like a party and you're like, hey, you guys brought Andros, right? Like, where is he? You're like, where's Andros? We're like,
Yeah.
So everyone has their back to the wall looking for Andros, and he's looking to kill, which is very interesting. But it's hard to miss. He has an owl head. So I mean, what are you googling over there?
Nothing.
You googling pictures of Andros the monkey?
Andros nude.
I think he is naked. He's naked in the picture. I mean,
I feel like most demons are nude.
see, but he's hiding behind. He's riding the wolf, so he's tucking his dong behind like the side of the wolf. I think.
Poor wolf.
Yeah, I know. Maybe the wolf likes it.
Get your dick off me.
Last sexy vegan. The wolf likes it.
Whoa.
Anyway, so the next demon is Asmodeus. I really like this guy. He's pretty fun. He is a monstrous creature with 3 heads. Can you guess one of the heads, David?
Lion,
No.
goat,
No.
dragon,
No.
bear,
No.
dog,
No.
sheep.
Yes.
Hey-o.
There we go. One is like a sheep. One is like a bull. And the last one is my personal favorite.
A cat. House cat.
Donkey, get out of my swamp.
An ogre?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying donkey. I tried to be funny.
Nope, it's an ogre. So the last head is an ogre. See, the ogre
It's
face,
just Shrek.
So the ogre face has pointed ears, a hooked nose, jagged teeth, and a fire-breathing mouth. All of Asmodeus's heads are crowded above one man-like chest, but from the waist down, you could spot brightly feathered legs of a rooster and the scaly tail of a serpent. So he's just kind of like,
Cock-a-diddle-diddle.
what do we got in the bag? Fucking put them together. He's like rooster,
We got this
dragon.
stuff left over.
Yeah, rooster, dragon, human, ogre, sheep, bull. That's a lot. Oh, also, he rides a lion with wings.
So I wasn't too far off with the lion.
Oh, but it has the neck of a dragon, which is
He has a neck of dragon. The tiger, the lion.
the lion.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird.
I don't know what that means.
Just the neck's dragon-like. Got a long serpenty neck with a.
So it could be
lion
a snake
head.
too.
No, it has a lion head. Just the neck's dragon-like, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. No, snakes don't have necks. Everybody knows
It's
that.
all neck.
It's not all neck.
It's all neck.
So, Asmodeus is the sex demon of hell.
Fuck yeah.
And you would totally figure that out by the way he looks, right?
Yeah.
That is sexy.
Yeah.
Fucking sexy.
Sounds great.
So, but not just any old sex demon. He is actually also one of the 7 princes of hell. So Asmodeus, along with the 6 other princes, actually equate to the 7 deadly sins, as we
So
talked
is he
about
lust?
before. He is lust. He's the prince of lust. So, meaning he's the guy in charge of all the horniness on this podcast.
Fuck yeah.
So, Asmodeus.
What's his name again?
Asmodeus. So,
Thank you, Asmodeus.
Asmodeus. Asmodeus. Asmodeus is also, this is so crazy. I did a little bit of a deep dive. So Asmodeus is also the son of Adam from the Garden of Eden, and also Lilith, who was the woman before Eve.
Yeah.
Did you know about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Side note, I want to go into who Lilith is, because I didn't even know about Lilith. I thought it was just Adam and Eve the whole time.
I remember this through the Borderland games, because one of the main characters' name was Lilith.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So Lilith was actually created by God after God brought all the male and female animals to Adam to name. But Adam got jealous of the love all the animals shared with each other. So he literally went around the garden and had sex with all the female animals and was like, that sucked. So God decided to make him a first woman, not make him the first woman, but make him a woman, I guess. But instead of using dust like he made Adam with, God decided to make Lilith out of filth and sediment. So she came out all fucked up. She came out.
Yeah, I want to fuck that. My name's God.
She came out all hot. She was like the most beautiful woman ever. But I guess she had like an argumentative personality or bad personality or something like that. And long story short, they got in an argument over sex positions, and God punished her, and now she's known as the mother of the succubi and a baby murderer.
Is that true?
I swear to God, she was like, he's like, let's have sex. And she's like, okay, I'm going to be, and he's like, you go on the bottom. And she's like, no, I'm not going on the bottom. We're equal. We are both like made by God. And he's like, no.
I am God.
And he's like, no, Adam was.
Oh,
no,
Adam. Okay.
And Adam was like, no, you just lay on the bottom. And she's like, no, that's demeaning. And he's like, come on, we got to do this. And then she's like, no, fuck this. And she left. And then God's like, you have to go back to him. You guys are the only humans. And she's like, I'm not going back. And he's like, if you don't go back, I'm going to have you he said, I'm going to have you watch 100 of your children die every single day. And she's like, okay.
I thought you were going to say, I'm going to make you watch 100 episodes of Frasier backwards.
Oh, Kelsey Grammer! But, yeah, so some say you can still hear the laughing track of Frasier in the Garden of Eden. But yeah, so she was like, okay, I'm calling your bluff. And he's like, fine. So she has to like watch her children die every day. But they also said they were like demons die. So are her children demons? I don't really get it, but
She probably likes it.
that's maybe. I don't know.
She just might.
So that was kind of crazy. Learn about Lilith a little bit. So Asmodeus' main goal is to interfere with the sex lives of newly wedded couples, but he also dabbles in revenge, fueling grudges, and concocting violent plans for vengeance. Last but not least, though, a little fun fact about Asmodeus, because I got all these fun facts about these demons.
Of course.
Is that he loves to play dice, and he is said to lord over numerous gambling houses.
Oh,
He's
sex and gambling.
He's a gambling boy. He just likes to throw those dice in the alley and the cardboard. You know what I'm saying? Come on, get Papa a new pair of lions with fucking snake necks.
There's a sign in my my parking spot at my apartment that says like no loitering or gambling.
Oh, what?
Which I thought the gambling part's really funny that they had to post like no gambling back here. Someone
We
just
know
rolling
this
dice
is
back
an
there.
Indian reservation it was built on, but you can't gamble here.
That's why I do my sports bets.
I just don't get it because, like, if you're gambling back there, like, how much money are you really making?
Yeah, and how you getting people back there? It's kind
Someone's
of
like,
very
you
tucked
have to
away.
pay taxes. I'm like, I just won $20. And they're like, you gotta pay taxes on it.
Give me half of that, and they just rip the 20 in half.
This part's mine. See, I have the little blue stripe in there.
Mm-hmm.
That means my part's legit. So let's go to the next one, and his name is Agares. So Agarus
Is there one that's just named Steve?
No.
Okay.
There was one named like Tom something. He had like a last name like Tom Slevin.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, Tom.
You want to do a game show?
He wasn't very cool though. He was just like, hey, and then like if he like possesses somebody, you just have to go, hey Tom Slevin, or something like that. And he's like, fuck, you said my name, and then he leaves, and everyone's like, he must really hate his name.
Yeah.
So Agarus is described as an old man riding upon a crocodile and carrying a hawk or a peregrine falcon on his arm.
Whoa.
So if you didn't know, peregrine falcon is the fastest bird alive.
Yes, it is.
So this guy
Is it the
pretty
fastest?
cool.
I think isn't it the fastest living
Animal.
creature?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it's faster than any land animal
Yeah.
for sure. So fastest, yeah. So old man riding a crocodile is pretty cool though.
Oh, you ever been to Florida?
A lot of Agaruses around there.
You see a lot of that.
There's a demon in my backyard.
You go to
No,
the
that's Grandpa.
You go to the Waffle House and there's like 6 crocodiles and alligators parked out front,
And the handicap spots, and there's no handicap placard around their necks.
and they're more blind than the rider.
You ever tried to tow a crocodile? It's fucking miserable.
Nab it by the tail.
That's the new like, what's that? That channel that has like really shitty towing shows.
True TV.
Yep, that's a new True TV show. It's just like
Crocodile towing.
crocodile towers, and they're like, "Man, I love this thing," and then they're just like dragging it to the parking lot.
There's a guy chasing it. No, my payments are almost done.
I left my keys in its stomach. So Agarus is a Grand Duke in the eastern part of hell. He says so. And he is of the order of the virtues and governs 31 legions. No idea what the hell any of that means, but I bet he's got a lot of pins on that robe he's rocking. Oof. But also, why does everybody in hell wear robes? It's hot in hell. And everyone seems to have robes.
Absorbs the sweat.
You're either naked or you have a robe in hell, right?
I don't know. I get really excited whenever a hotel has a bathrobe for me to gallivant around.
Do you know how
in.
many people have worn those robes?
I don't care.
I'm
adding one more to the tally. No one's doing anything dirtier than I am in that thing.
I guess you're right. You were just sitting on the couch butt naked.
Mm-hmm.
So
fuck the toilet paper.
I use it and then I roll it back up and I go, I didn't use it. I even fold it
Don't charge me for it. Like, we don't charge for don't charge me for it.
I package back up the bar soap and pee in the shampoo bottles, and they always fall for it.
Always.
So, well, I guess what the fuck am I calling him? Agarus. Well, Agarus has some weird powers as well, with one being forcing deserters to return home, which is a weird power.
Okay.
I don't really get what, like, maybe people ran away from, like, it's like, I think it was like a deterrent to be like, don't run away from home, or don't, like, leave the army, or don't, like, you know what I mean? They're like, he'll come get you.
Yeah.
He's riding a crocodile who's fast. He got a fast bird. But he also causes earthquakes, which is a very cool power. One of them X-Men.
He doesn't use it very often, but when he does.
Fuck, that was, yeah.
So,
but by far, my personal favorite of all of his powers has to be that if he possesses you, he will teach you every language in the world. But here's the kicker. He only teaches you the bad words.
That's kind of fun.
Isn't that cool? But, like, that's like when you learn a language, you always learn fuck, shit.
They're easier to remember.
Piss.
Yeah. They're more fun.
So it's just very cool. And then, like, the article I was reading this from, there's like, which would seem cool at first, but remember that he's gonna say racial slurs too. I'm like, okay, why are you bringing that up? Like, come on. No,
about that part.
Yeah,
I mean, you
know.
can choose not to say them.
Exactly. He could teach you them.
Yeah.
But you learn fucking 40 languages, but you don't have to say the other words.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was really funny. He's trying to take away this cool demon power, you know?
Yeah.
No, we're only sticking to the kosher ones.
That's like when I found out you can't say my dog's name in like anywhere that speaks, I think it's Swahili.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it mean? It's a slur.
It's a thing I can't say on this podcast. That's
well, you can say your dog's name.
Yeah, his name's Kuma.
Do some independent research if you want.
Kuma.
The
He's a good boy.
The swine. He's a racist boy. My dog's so racist. He told me to name him it.
It's not racist, but
It's just like.
use your imagination. It's not a racist word, but I can't say it on this podcast, and we say a lot of bad words. So
Oh, okay. It's like the Jamaican when they go like blood clot, and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Oh, it's
technically.
bad.
Is it really bad?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean it. Sorry. I meant like my grandma had one.
Yeah.
So the next one we got two more for you. The next one is Asog. So as far as looks go, Asog is doing not too hot since he is said to be so hideous, grotesque, and unbelievably ugly.
Hi.
Asog, you can't show up to my parties, man. Everybody leaves.
But it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I know what you're wondering. Why am I having a Valentine's Day party, right? It's a swingers event.
People
and
have
no
those.
Swingers?
Huh?
Swingers?
Everybody.
Don't invite a Asog to your swingers party, especially if you're cooking fish. You know why?
Why?
Because he's so unbelievably ugly that his presence alone makes fish boil alive in rivers. Have you ever seen somebody that ugly?
No.
I honestly was driving one time through my hometown and I saw. This is so sad. I don't.
Then why are you saying it?
Because it's true. I saw like a mom and like a kid, and they're like they look like the Geico caveman people.
Okay.
And I was like, oh no, but maybe they're having a bad day.
Yeah.
A good haircut and like a good like
Yeah.
tweezing in between those eyebrows could probably make you look very good looking. So.
Maybe it's just their signature style.
It's true. They got like the Anthony Davis look. Is that his name?
Anthony Davis.
He's got a unibrow, right? Didn't he not? Who's the basketball player for the Pelicans?
Oh, I was thinking of the singer from Korn.
Why do you only think of him?
I don't know. I can't stop though.
Jesus Christ. But his name's Anthony Davis, right?
Yeah.
He had a unibrow. Does he still have it?
Yeah.
Yes. He's rocking that. He's looking good. So maybe I'm just judgmental. Fuck me.
Yeah.
So
He also makes billions of dollars.
that lady might have, and her son might
True.
have.
There you go.
Her 8-year-old son might have been a billionaire.
You know,
So-
what? Anthony Davis probably makes millions. I'm gonna take that one back.
Yeah, not billions. So his main power is he's on the Lakers now.
Yes, he is.
And we should go see that unibrow in person.
Fucking Lakers.
So-
oh man, nosebleeds for a Laker game is like $200 anyways.
Oh, fuck that. So his main power is to cause sickness in humans, but he has one more trick up his sleeve. If you ever decide to get super pissed at a Sog for making you sick and decide that you want to go confront him, I suggest you don't, since he has his own special army of giant rock demons to defend him. Oh, you ask, he got a rock army? Well, it's no big thing. Guess how he got the rock army?
He killed Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Nope, he had sex with all the mountains in the world.
Oh, so you're talking about like a stone army?
Yeah.
I was picturing like
Like
an
a-
army of just Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I was picturing of rock
like Clone
musicians,
Wars.
like the lead singer of Korn.
Yeah.
Oh no, but he's got rock people fighting for him.
His name is Anthony Davis. What is the lead singer of Korn's name? Lead singer of Korn. I think it's Anthony Davis. Jonathan Davis.
Okay,
Fuck.
you said
Okay.
his name like 2 podcasts ago.
Yeah, it's Jonathan Davis.
Also, David is sending me a lot of pictures of the lead singer of Disturbed holding his baby for some reason.
Upon deeper research, I found out that post I sent you, which I still think is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life, was one of his most recent posts, and his last post on Instagram was from 2013.
Oh, wow.
Which makes things a little different. But it's also, there's a picture of, what's his name? David something. Lead singer of Disturbed. His name.
I don't want to know his name. I like Disturbed. Ooh,
Exactly. His name is David Draymond.
David Draymond.
Everybody knows him. Everybody knows what he looks like. There's a great picture of him holding a newborn baby, and he's slightly teary-eyed, and it's the funniest picture I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Don't get me wrong.
I can't stop laughing.
We all like our Korn and Disturbed at
Yes.
one time, maybe still, but you have quite an obsession.
It's just funny to hear their music and then like see photos of them in their normal life of like You know, they just had a baby. Like,
Yeah.
they're so happy they're crying, but that's still hilarious to me to think about.
Also, tell me about what the fuck you just told me earlier that made me so sick to my stomach about the fucking drummer from Slipknot.
Oh, one of the drummers. They have 3.
Just tell me that one.
The guy who dresses up like a clown, I believe his name is Sean.
Doesn't matter.
Something. I guess he.
Spicer?
There's a tale that he had since the band Slipknot started, that he had a large mason jar that had a dead crow in it, and over the years, I believe he still has it. He maybe stopped doing it.
Better have it,
because they're getting pretty old now. But he had a jar with a dead crow in it that would continue to decay. And he, after putting on his clown mask and everything, he would smell it before going on stage and throw up inside of his mask and all over himself, basically. And he would do it before every show.
That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
The reason that got brought up is because I told David to watch the movie Lords of Chaos, which is about Norwegian black metal, which is a very good movie. It's very disturbing too, so go check that out if you want. It's on Hulu. Lords of Chaos. Rory Culkin's in it. It's really good. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. That was on your side.
Oh, oops. Oh, my water bottle popped. So, okay, next demon. This is my last demon. We got off on a big tangent there, but my last demon I got for you is Ukobak. I'm afraid if I say their names that I am going to summon them or something, but or Urobak, it might be. Urobak is described as a demon of an inferior order. Yeah, we're talking low-ranking demons here.
Okay.
They have, or he has, I think there's many of them. They have very small bodies and are short. They are with an incredibly thin build and an abnormally large-shaped head. A Ukobak's nose is huge and wide-ranging, with flared-up nostrils to complete their cheeky little grin. He is also known to have a flaming or red body, large eyes and ears, and often a pan full of coals or a hot poker. Since he is an inferior demon, he doesn't really have powers, just responsibilities, which is the worst kind of demon to be, because Ukobak is charged by Beelzebub to maintain the oil in the infernal boilers, which is made of the blood of the damned, forged in the west where the sun sets. So he's basically just like the guy who's in charge of like stoking the eternal blood boil fire.
He's got a job to do. He's a working man.
He's a little guy who's just like trying to make it in hell, you know, the hell dream, as they say, work his way up the ladder. And they are also said to have a small frumpish laugh as they carry around their trusty shovel. Oh my God, this is little Nicky.
Yeah.
With which they dump coals into the burning furnace of hell to keep that blood boiling.
Okay.
But since this is my last one, I want to tell you the most fun fact of all, and this is my favorite demon just because of this fact. But this little fun fact is why Ukobak is my favorite little demon servant, since he is said to be the inventor of fireworks and the art of frying food.
I love fried food.
How cool is that?
I mean, he's working with all the oil and stuff to make a cauldron, a fire continue?
It's a boiling blood of the damned pool.
Okay, so yeah.
So
you get bored, you're around this giant,
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It really does. And who knew fried food came from hell? That's very cool.
Have you ever tasted it? It tastes so damn good. Of course it's from hell.
So damned good.
Damned good.
So, well, in conclusion, even though I say these boys are my favorite, they're really like your grandma's candy bowl. You can have a favorite in that bowl, but in reality, they all fucking suck. So I just wanted to. You ever get those little strawberry candies?
See, I like those.
I do like those too, but
Yeah.
I've never gotten them outside of my grandma's candy bowl.
Yeah, I think one time I bought a bag of them at like a Whole Foods or something.
You talking about Whole Foods?
Well, the places that have
Hell
like
on Earth.
the Hell on Earths that have like the giant like barrels of candy that you can scoop into the bag.
And I'm talking about the ones that look like a strawberry on the wrapper.
Yeah, no, you can get those out of those big ass barrel
They have
things.
pineapple ones too.
Probably.
But so I just wanted to give all of you this list just in case in the future you fall asleep one night and wake up to the eternal screaming of the tortured souls of the forgotten. make sure you go find yourself Ukobach so you can grab a quick corn dog and light off a couple bottle rockets before you have to hang by your big toes for eternity. So
I mean, I guess if I had to hang from a toe, it would be my big toes.
I wrote nipples first, and I thought that was too horny for this.
That's pretty horny.
That's too horny for this. So
Yeah.
big toes is more punishing, you know?
I think my like ring toes, my pinkies, rip them off. I don't care about my pinky toes.
Well, that's the thing. You have to choose the biggest toe because it won't rip off.
So I feel like it has the most, durability to it. It's the sturdiest.
That's true, but after a while...
You can hang me by my big toe right now. Do it.
Okay, we're going to
Bet
pause
you
this
won't.
podcast. So that's my 6 favorite demons in hell that are a little bit less known. So
This is going to come back to you in your favor. You're going to end up in hell, and they're going to be like, hey, I heard that podcast.
he's like, hey,
Appreciate that.
Hugo Box like, yo, what's up, dude? Hey, I got my shovel.
You want some fried chicken?
Do I? Let's put a bottle rocket in a fucking cat's butt.
You can dip it in the lava.
It's like that scene
The
from Joe
brimstone.
Dirt. He's like, you want flim flams? You want ass blasters? You want frog stompers? You want
All right.
with the gel stick or not the gel stick? What is he called?
I haven't seen that movie in 10 years. I don't know.
Slipper and Willies? Oh, okay.
They did make a sequel.
Yeah, I never saw it.
I heard it was bad, so I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't even go to theaters.
No.
But okay, yeah, that's my demon. So
All right. Those are Tobin's demons. All right. So I'm gonna tell a little story, a little
a
history,
lovely lady.
little history lesson that many people in America are unfamiliar with.
Ooh.
So in America, many people are proud of our military presence and intimidation that has kept many other countries too afraid to attack us on our own soil. Mm-hmm. We're pretty good at that. People usually don't try to fuck with us in America.
We got big bombs here.
Yeah. I should have found the quote. I forget which general it was, but I believe he was a Chinese general that was like, you never attack America on their soil because there's a rifle behind every blade of grass.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, although hugely world-changing events have happened on our soil, that being Pearl Harbor and 9/11, those are really the only 2 times that it's happened and people are aware of. And many people believe that the United States have never been bombed, but this is not true.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Today I'm going to talk about the Brookings bombing of 1942.
My Alexa just really ruined your story.
I wonder what I said that made that thing go
Oh,
off.
fuck. You just said it. You're just like, a lot of people don't think America's been bombed, and it's like, listening.
We're fucked.
listening. Wait, can I turn that off for a second?
Yeah.
It's fucking scaring me now. Okay, hit pause.
So this story is centered around one man named Nobu Fujiya. Fujiya.
I believe you.
Yeah. A Japanese man who was born in 1911 in the Empire of Japan. So Nobu would join the Imperial Japanese Navy with his younger brother in 1932 and became a Navy pilot just a year later.
Okay, so he's like 20-something.
Yeah.
I said 22. What do you say, 32? 1932?
Yeah, 32, and he was born in 11, so he would be 21.
Yeah.
So, quick maths. And
Quick math.
when Pearl Harbor took place, Nobu was aboard the I-25 submarine and was on patrol 120 miles north of Oahu.
Oh, okay.
And he was actually supposed to be a part of the Pearl Harbor attack, but his Glenn seaplane has another name, but like we refer to it as the Glens.
That's what the Japanese planes are called?
Yeah, they had some crazy Japanese name that
we couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, and so like the Americans and other countries just call them Glens.
Oh, okay.
So I'll reference the Glen a lot in this. So his Glenn seaplane was not functioning properly, and it was grounded him from the attack.
So it was like his plane? Like
Yeah.
they're all like assigned planes. You got a shit plane. They're like, you get on the submarine instead?
Well, I'll get into the plane in a moment.
Okay.
So after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the I-25 patrolled along the west coast of the United States with 8 other submarines, attacking one U.S. ship before returning to their base in the Marshall Islands. They got back to the base on January 11th to refuel and stock up on other supplies. And after getting all their shit together, the I-25's next mission was to survey the Australian harbor of Sydney, Melbourne, and Hobart.
Were we stationed in Australia, or were
I believe
they allies?
they were allies, I
Okay.
believe. So followed up by that, he also checked out the New Zealand harbors of Wellington and Auckland. By this time, Nobu had fixed his Glen plane and took it for a flight over the Sydney harbor to examine the city's air bases while making sure his Glen aircraft was ready for war. So what's crazy about these Glen planes was that they would be transported on a submarine.
I was about to say, how the fuck is he fixing the plane? And I just wasn't going to go into like all the minutia of it, but I was like, he's in a sub. Like, how is he fixing a plane?
So it would be transported on a submarine, quickly assembled. I think they basically put the wings on it, and on top of the submarine, and then it would be launched from the roof of the sub. So they had some sort of like launcher on it.
It's also just crazy to me. I still can't get over the fact that like everybody was like, this is your plane. He's like, this is my plane. There are many like it, but this one is mine. And like, he has to fix his own plane in order to like fly with the rest of them.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was kind of just the fact that it wasn't gonna function when it was time for him to fly.
Yeah, so there's like, well, you fix it or you don't fly. And he's like, okay. Don't you have people for this?
Yeah. So after testing his Glen and making sure it was ready for war, Nobu and his team went back for supplies and then headed to the Pacific Northwest. So on the 28th of May, Nobu performed a survey over Kodiak, Alaska in preparation for the invasion of the Aleutian lands. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that one right. That's a weird one. And on the 21st of June, the I-25 sub headed towards the U.S. base of Fort Stevens near Astoria, Oregon. Yes, we are back on the Oregon coast for another story. Deal with it. We're back.
We get it. You're from. Oh, now you have to do this. We get it. You're from Oregon.
This one just fell in my lap. Actually, it was. I saw it on Reddit of like the things like today I learned thing.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't even. Yeah, I didn't know about this at all.
Wait, so they were going to invade Alaska? I assume is that what, like over like from Siberia over to Alaska?
Something like that.
Oh, I don't know where Siberia if it's right there, but yeah that's crazy. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. So Nobu himself suggested the idea of a submarine-based seaplane to bomb military targets, because I think the idea was like it was easy to sneak up on, and then you could just take off from there. It would be harder to detect.
Yeah.
And so his idea also included ships at sea and attacking U.S. mainlands, especially the Panama Canal.
Oh, so like supply ships couldn't get through and stuff like that. They'd have to go all the way around.
Yeah.
That actually would make sense. But also, isn't this guy like, he's 21. I assume he's like kind of a grunt, right? Why is are these like his ideas that he wrote in a notebook, or was he like calling shots?
He must have just like proposed the idea and they're like, yeah, it's a good idea.
Oh, I guess you're right.
So the idea was approved and the mission was given to Nobu and his I-25 crew. At 6 a.m. on the 9th of September, the I-25 sub surfaced west of the Oregon-California border, where she launched the Glen, being flown by Nobu and Petty Officer Okuda Shoji with 340 pounds worth of incendiary bombs.
Whoa. I don't even know if that's a lot, but
It's two
sounds
bombs.
like a lot.
It's 2 bombs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it would also make sense to like go to some place like Oregon or Washington or even like Northern California, because like above San Francisco, because they were waiting for like all these planes to hit like a metropolis, not like the woods.
Well, that was the main reason, is that they knew that San Francisco and Seattle and Portland would be heavily guarded. And so they wanted to go somewhere in between. I think the original idea was to use incendiary bombs on a very what's the word I'm looking for? Like a very
like small location?
No,
Or
a very treed area, like a lot of trees. Because the idea was to make fires that would spread and take, like, it'd do a lot of damage.
Makes sense. I mean,
because there's so many trees,
and it's like
in the Northwest.
Summer too. Or
Yeah.
That would make sense. They should have hit August, I guess, but like September's still pretty dry up there.
Yeah.
Not up there. I don't even know. I'm just saying down here. It's always dry down here.
Yeah, I mean it's typically always raining in the Northwest,
Yeah.
but so the Japanese soldiers would drop 2 of the incendiary bombs on the Wheeler Ridge on Mount Emily in Oregon, and the other bomb location is unknown.
Really?
So, how could a bomb go unnoticed, you may ask?
Did it fall in a lake?
It might have. Well, the first bomb that we know on Mount Emily started a very small fire that was easily controlled by the Forest Service.
Really? Even back then in 1930? Wow. I mean, I would assume that it would be really hard to put out a fire that's like in the middle of the woods. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you might be wondering, were the bombs faulty? They were not. The reason why this happened is it's believed because of the incredible rain of the Northwest made the fire bombs look like little bitches.
See?
Because the area was so damp, the fire was practically extinguished as soon as it hit the ground.
See, you can't hit the Northwest. It's
No.
too rainy. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
There's
I
an
don't know
army of
what's gonna-
Sasquatches that saw it,
They caught it.
and they caught it with their bare hairless hands, and they slammed it into the river.
Do you know how high a Sasquatch can jump?
So a Sasquatch is typically what, 8 feet tall,
Something like that.
and so I would believe a Sasquatch would be able to slam dunk on at least a 16-foot hoop.
See, I thought it might have some Hulk powers. You know, like the Hulk can jump for miles. Maybe caught it and then like jumped into the ocean. And
Let's
like,
go- yeah.
One of them sacrificed himself.
Let's go ahead and say a Sasquatch can jump 50 feet in the air.
There we go.
If a Hulk can jump miles, I think it's fair to say, because
He blocked that shit. He jumped 50 feet in the air. He blocked it.
But tumboed it.
Yep, flew into the ocean.
he did the finger wig
Boom,
thing.
boom.
Yep. You know, the thing is that you can't give a Sasquatch too much jumping range, because if a Sasquatch was able to jump like, miles, all that hair would come right off.
Well, they say Sasquatch is like a dragon, where if
I haven't heard that.
Dragons grow to like the environment they're in. If you've ever seen Game of Thrones, if you
Okay.
keep them in a small cave, they're going to stay small. But
Are you
if
sure you're not getting confused with goldfish and koi's?
maybe, but Sasquatch can get, they say, about 100 feet tall.
100 feet tall.
Jump miles,
Yeah.
kilometers.
So the Glen plane was spotted by 2 men in a lookout tower right after dropping the bombs, and after being previously shielded by the fog. So like no one could see them through the dense fog
Damn.
until they finally like kind of spotted them.
So they don't even need that submarine to shoot them out of. You're just like, you got all that northwest fog.
Yeah. And so once they saw the plane, they realized, oh wait, that fire was probably caused by them. So they investigated it, and the 2 men found the shell of the bomb and reported it to the U.S. Army, being
And
like,
it had like Japanese on it.
yeah,
See, that's the thing back then. Like, no one would even like. Now it's really hard to find out like who started fires and where they came from and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But back then, everybody was in a tower looking and waiting for somebody to like drop a bomb, or you know what I mean. That's
or to
like,
see smoke and stuff.
yeah, that's the first thing that people are waiting for, and they're ready to blame that on. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not surprising that they figured it out so fast.
Yeah. So after the pitiful bombing attempt, the I-25 came under attack from the U.S. the Air Force, and forcing the submarine to dive and hide on the ocean floor. The submarine would later torpedo and sink 2 ships, U.S. ships named the SS Camden and the SS Larry Doheny,
Oh fuck.
and they sailed home. And on their way back to the base, they actually sank a Soviet sub.
What the fuck?
So kind of a badass submarine, I guess.
I mean, if we weren't on the receiving side of all those.
Not all of them. There's a Soviet sub in there.
Yeah, but we still got a forest fire and 2 ships down. But
Yeah.
fuck that guy.
So the 2 acts on Oregon in September 1942 were the only enemy aircraft bombings on the United States mainland soil.
Damn, that's
Mainland soil.
crazy.
I do believe that Alaska was bombed,
Okay.
but people don't consider that,
mainland.
Exactly.
Hawaii was also not mainland.
True.
So,
But it wasn't technically bombed. It was kamikaze, wasn't it?
well, I mean,
No
there's-
bombs were dropped there, planes crashing.
True, but I mean, if you have bombs on board and you smash a plane into a ship, it's
Yeah.
still a bomb, I guess. Not dropped, but bombs flown into the sides of,
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's so crazy
Yeah.
to think about that. I mean, it's also kind of weird that there's like, was it 1 plane or 2 planes?
It was 1 plane
It
with
was
2
just
bombs.
him.
It was him and 1 other guy.
See, I just don't get it too. I get what he was trying to do, being like, "Oh, I'll start a forest fire. I'll take out like a lot of their stuff." But I'm like, even 1 plane is like not very effective. But they also want to be under the radar. So I get
Exactly.
that,
So if you
too.
have a ton of planes that are going to notice.
it just seems like high risk, not
So I think that's a low risk. What, you lose a plane, 2 people?
true. I guess they're at war already. I guess they're not like. I guess yeah. I was under the impression that they weren't like at war with Japan yet, and Japan was like waiting to strike. But had Pearl Harbor happened at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't. When was Pearl Harbor? I feel bad I don't know that.
I know, me too.
Every single time it's like Pearl Harbor, I learn it and then I forget again, so
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad. But it was in when?
It was. Oh, that's a pop up. You know, I feel like our generation, we don't talk much about Pearl Harbor just because of 9/11.
9/11 really kind of took over for us.
Yeah. So it happened in
1911.
41.
41.
So it was a year before all this.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they're full effect right now. So it's not really,
Yeah.
Wait, hold up for a second. They said this shit happened in 32.
No, 42.
Oh shit. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't want people to know that I'm so stupid.
No, it's okay. Every time you say a date, it immediately leaves my mind.
Yeah.
You could probably make a full hour episode of me going, wait, what year is this again? So our story doesn't end here, though. So this is when things get a little more interesting.
Uh-oh.
In a good way. This is a happy story.
Okay,
This ends
good.
happily.
Okay.
So Nobu continued his life as an Imperial Navy pilot, mostly doing flybys and surveillances. And after the war, he opened a hardware store and later worked at a company making wire. Not the TV hit show The Wire, just good old wire.
He didn't make The Wire?
He didn't. I'm sorry.
He didn't talk about the inner city crime and drugs in Baltimore?
He did not.
He's like,
But I'd love to move to Baltimore one day.
Oregon atrocious, but Baltimore is very interesting to me. I will never bomb Baltimore.
So in 1962, Nobu was invited to Oregon after the Japanese government assured him he would not be tried for war crimes. Nobu agreed to visit the place he once tried to burn to the ground, ready to make peace. Mm-hmm. Nobu would present his family's 400-year-old katana sword to the city of Brookings as a gesture of friendship and peace, ashamed of his actions.
Oh, nice.
But
Oh, he whipped it out and went to town?
well, Nobu had actually intended to use the sword to commit seppuku. For people who don't know, that is the
Harikari.
Huh?
Harikari.
Harikari.
That's
Harikari?
Seppuku is death by dishonor.
I think it's like a way to be like an honorable death after you've done something bad. It's a forgiveness
It's a
thing.
shameful thing. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like I'm taking it with honor, but like I think Harikari seppuku is just killing yourself in general for like
Oh, I
dishonoring.
thought it had to be with the sword.
I think that's Harikari. I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
That's explain what it is.
But the idea is you get down on your knees and you take your sword and you put it in. I'm not positive. I think there is a rule from it's either left to right or right to left.
I think you go in your stomach up and to the left where like your heart is.
Is that what it is?
You go
Okay.
middle of the stomach up to the left.
Yeah.
I believe.
And so he took the sword to do that in case it was like a hostile reception.
Oh.
However, much to his surprise, the town treated him with much respect and affection,
Oh, wow.
which made him like very grateful. And actually, instead of using the sword to take his life, he gave it to them as like a gift.
I'm just sitting there like seeing him like sweating, being like, "Hey, everybody," and they're like, "Who's that?" And he's like, "You guys like me?" And they're like, "Yeah, you seem cool." He's like,
Sure.
oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Here. I bought you a gift.
So Nobu fell in love with the place he once was determined to destroy, and would take many trips back throughout his life, planting a tree at the bomb site as a gesture of peace.
Bonsai tree?
I doubt it.
That wouldn't
make much sense.
That's an invasive species. They're like, "You fucked up our environment." He's like, "I introduced trout into your river," and they're like, "You weren't supposed to."
I also brought many spiders.
Here's this moss that kills everything. It's my favorite.
You guys ever heard of poison oak? Now you have. So Nobu was made an honorary citizen of Brookings several days before his death in Japan at the age of 85.
Oh.
And that was in 1998. So his daughter actually took some of his ashes to Oregon and planted them at the bomb site with the tree.
Aw.
Yeah, so he has some of his ashes there. And I will end the story with a quote from Nobu's diary.
They're reading his diary after he died?
I mean, they publish Anne Frank's everywhere.
Yeah, but his could have had some embarrassing stuff. He's like, "I have a boner during the meeting today. Why did I get..."
Very confusing.
We shouldn't have published this.
So his quote is, "If we knew each other, if we understood each other as friends, this foolish war would never have happened. I sincerely hope that one day would come where everyone could overcome our differences and throughout talking and not fighting."
Oh, that's very nice of him.
Yeah.
I think that's very true today.
Very mature.
Yes.
Why don't we just talk instead of fighting?
He's very mature, but he also did drop a bomb, so
Drop two, not to be technical.
I could say I could say we should all just be friends, and I haven't dropped a bomb, so who's...
I dropped a bomb in your toilet earlier.
You're not my friend anymore. I'm very petty. I can't even speak to Nobu's...
You can't even speak, motherfucker.
I can't. I forgot his name, but I remembered that he's also named after that expensive sushi restaurant, as Future says. Nobu, Nobu, Nobu.
Well,
Nobu.
it's spelled differently.
Ah, shit.
He's got a U after the B.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
But wow. Well, good on him. Good on Oregon good on everybody for just like being adults and being like, hey,
It happened. It wasn't your fault. Yeah. It was your idea.
We did horrible shit too. They did horrible shit. I mean, we talked about Unit 731. That was fucking horrible. Remember that, David?
Yep.
Remember when you brought that up, David?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so we all did bad stuff, but you know.
Yeah.
It's all about moving forward.
Yeah.
Moving forward. So I think that concludes our stories for today with a nice little message after we covered a shit ton of demons, you know. So thank you guys for listening. If you guys want more information, go to campstrange.com. We have all of our hyperlinks there for our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter stuff. We also have our store if you want a shirt or a mug. Yeah. If you got some stories, you want to send them on over our way, go to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. Send us some stuff, questions, inquiries, stories. We love them all. Or just click the contact tab on our website and send it on over.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Did we say we have merch?
We do have merch. I think I did say merch.
I wasn't
did say
sure.
the merch
I
thing.
spaced out.
But I mean, we have so much more than just merch.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do we have, David?
We've got a big old pineapple.
We have a tiny dragon that screams at you right when you fall asleep.
We got a horn that when you blow it, skeletons come.
We have a ladder that you're allowed to go on the top part. You can only go on the top part.
Yeah?
You know the part where they go, don't step on this one.
Yeah.
You can only step on that one. So you got to get a Sasquatch jump and get up on there.
Yeah.
Get up on that.
We've got a Viking helmet that is made of celery.
We have Fred Durst's red Yankees hat, and it's backwards.
I had one of those in 3rd grade.
You're a loser.
So?
That's another musician that you're obsessed with, aren't you?
I love Fred Durst.
Of Limp Bizkit, for those of you who don't know.
He invented the song Behind Blue Eyes. He's a genius.
Is that a Beatles song?
I think it's The Who.
Yeah. No one knows what it's like.
I think that's Who.
We have The Who.
Come on.
Well, I just doubled up anyway, so
We've got stilts that have pogo sticks at the end of them.
Seems dangerous to me.
Sexy, dangerous fun.
We have a duck that doesn't eat bread.
We have fire.
We have water.
We have ice.
We have pestilence.
We have pest controls.
We have that plastic tank that the pest control people carry on their back and they spray the house with.
They pretend like they're a Ghostbuster.
But it's full of purple Gatorade.
Oh.
And it just makes everything in your house sticky. He snuck in and he sprayed everything.
Is that what that is?
Well, it's not. He has purple Gatorade this time.
Oh, okay. I think that's
this
it.
time.
At this time.
Don't go around thinking that he has purple Gatorade in his pack.
Yeah, don't drink it. Don't go up to anybody and drink what's out of their pack.
Hey, Bob the Bug Guy, spray me real quick, right in the face.
Hey, Bug Bob, spray me.
Okay.
I can take it.
Do we have anything else?
No.
No, I think we're good. Bug Bob. We have Bug Bob. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We love it when you do, and we love telling you these stories. So stay tuned. We got a lot more for you. Before we leave, David, do you have anything you want to say?
Don't forget to check your milk before drinking it.
That's a good.
You don't want no chunky milk.
Unless you want cheese.
Cheese. We got cheese.
And don't forget to stay strange.